What's going on, everybody? I'm Rob A, and this is Transformers Masterpiece MP-41 Dinobot from Beast Wars. This is, of course, for the 20th anniversary of Beast Wars, which is just going for however many years it takes, to be honest. So Dinobot, definitely one of my favorite characters. I think one of everyone's favorite characters from the Beast Wars series. I was really excited to hear that he was getting a Masterpiece figure, and I'm excited to finally have it in hand. So, as you can see, the box is actually quite large, certainly a lot larger than either Primal or Cheetor's box. You can kind of get an idea of that by just putting Primal and Cheetor here in front of the box. You can see it can hold both of those guys quite easily. You got some nice imagery on the front showing off the robot and beast modes of the figure. You've got, of course, Cybertron Frontline Combat, the Maximal logo, the Beast Wars logo, Long Life Design logo, Takara Tomy logo, Transformers Masterpiece logo, all that good stuff. Anyway, on the back you've got a bunch of stuff I cannot read. You've got on the side a nice image of Dinobot holding the golden disc. On the top just says Transformers Masterpiece right there. And then finally on the back you've got a bunch more stuff I cannot read, as well as some nice images of the beast mode, the eye changing gimmick, the rear view gimmick, which not sure you want to show that one off, but that's all right. You've got, of course, images from the actual show. And then we've got some robot mode images showing off the weapons, the Dino Saber, the Cyber Shield, which does spin. It can attach to his back for easy storage. The golden disc again. Dino Beam, different faces, different, showing off the golden disc, which is really cool. It does come with a power base, and then of course with the other two Beast Wars Masterpiece figures, as well as a little inventory showing off what comes in the box. So a lot of stuff going on here. So let's go ahead and crack this open, and let's see what we actually get inside this box. So we're just going to lift the flaps here and then pull this right out. And he is very large. Alright, let's put this over here. So here we have the instruction manual in black and white, unfortunately, but we'll try and get it sorted out here. We do have the golden disc, which is relatively golden. We've got what looks to be the I-beam effects here, as well as a stand for the golden disc and an adapter for the Dino hand. We've got a collector card here, shows off, I guess, the tail gimmick, which is interesting. So that's cool. And then without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the figure itself. At least in the packaging, you can see the beast mode is enormous, really, really large. These robot mode heads are quite big as well. You can see compared to, say, Cheetor, they're very, very large. They're about the size of Cheetor's chest, his entire torso. You've got some more adapters, I think, for the stand. You've got the sword, and then, of course, the Dino mode tail. Let's flip on the other side here. We can take a look at the underbelly and all the accoutrements. So, really, you don't want to see this nonsense. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out of this little plastic prison, and we're going to check him out in just a moment. Alright guys, so here we have Masterpiece Dinobot in his Raptor mode. And as you can see, there's definitely some robot kibble just kind of showing right through. I mean, there's really only so much you can do with a design like this. So, for the most part, I totally understand. It's just one of those things that's going to happen. All told, I think it's a really nice representation of Dinobot, however. You do have some nice articulation in this mode, which we'll go over now. Not really front to back on the legs so much. They are kind of stuck in this position, but you can move the first joint here, the knee as it were. There's a swivel here. You do get some movement in the I guess this would be the upper foot joint. You do get some rotation there, just a little bit on a ratchet hinge. You do get some movement in the foot as well. The foot can go up, it can go back, and it does have a rocker as well, so you can get that going on. The clawed toes are posable as well. You can rotate those and rotate those down pretty much as far as you want. One kind of bummer is that the foot is not ratcheted here, so it does swivel freely, and because this is such a heavy figure, it is a hard time kind of finding that perfect balance before the weight of the figure tends to knock the foot off balance, and then, you know, the actual joint just crumbles under the weight. So you do have to fiddle around a little bit, find that sweet spot. I think I may end up putting a little bit of nail polish or something on that joint just to tighten it up a little bit. But for the most part, once you find a nice position, it's pretty good for display purposes. You do get some nice movement in the tail. The tail, actually, first of all, it's a nice long tail, nicely balanced and nicely scaled to the figure. The tail does go back and forth at the midpoint here, so you can get the rotation. And there are two, actually three, I guess, points of articulation in the upward movement of the tail as well, so you can get some really nice kind of aggressive poses from that tail, or, you know, droopy sad poses should you so desire, something like that. The arms are kind of weird too. So the arms are ball jointed here just at the shoulder. There is a swivel up and down, but they are ball jointed back and forth. You can get a little bit of rotation in and out as well. You've got a bicep swivel. You've got an elbow that goes all the way around, and then you've got a dual hinge wrist. So you've got a swivel here that goes down, and then you've got another swivel that can go up or down, however you like. The nails, the claws are nicely painted, but the problem with this is that if you want Dinobot to hold something like the golden disc, for instance, you have to rotate his arm at the bicep swivel and then rotate the elbow so that his claws are facing up like this. So it's unsightly from the side. You can see those, you know, I guess, air holes, for lack of a better term. You can see the, you know, the gaps in the mold. But then you can attach the adapter for the golden disc here in his little hand, and then the golden disc itself, which we'll take a look at in a moment, can just slide right in there, and then you can hold that in his hand like so. But yeah, again, it does look kind of strange, just the way that it has to be positioned to get that done. I think it probably would have been easier just to put the dino claw on a ball joint rather than on a swivel, but that's alright. It is what it is. The head is articulated thusly. It can rotate here at the base of the neck. It can rotate up and down like so. Oops. Just like that. It can rotate. The head itself can rotate on that pivoting joint as well, so you can get some decent range of motion out of that. You can look behind him to see the burr on the back of his neck, but he can't reach it, which is nice. And then he can freak out about it. And one cool thing, the mouth of course does open and close. He does have a articulated tongue in there. And one thing that I noticed in a lot of pictures, I wasn't even sure if this guy had an upper row of teeth. Because in all the pictures his mouth is like this, and you just see the lips, and it almost looks like he's got kind of a a dog head rather than a raptor head because he's got no upper teeth, and I don't even know if that statement makes sense, but there you go. But the thing is, if you pull his jaw all the way down, it actually brings the top row of teeth down, so he can actually have some nice pointy raptor teeth, which is really good. I'm really excited about that. I don't know why it's not just out all the time, but you know, that's fine, I guess, as long as it's accessible. So you do get that option, and you can of course bring the tongue up and have all kinds of adventures with Dinobot screaming, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. He does have an eye change gimmick as well, very much like Masterpiece Grimlock. You're just going to raise this up here, and you're going to rotate it clockwise, and then bring it back down. He's got his kind of angry eyes. He packed his angry eyes. So you got that going on, and he is a big mamma jamma again. As I mentioned, his box is huge and this raptor mode is huge, but it's, you know, hard to show because he doesn't want to stand up right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and find a pose that he wants to stand in. There we go. Let's set him back a little bit here. Nope. This is... No, he's all together. He's staying together here. Alright, there we go. And then here is Optimus Primal in beast mode next to this guy. So he is rather large. Primal could totally ride him in beast mode. But yeah, otherwise, very, very nice figure. Again, that the joints in his feet, I think, need to be a little tighter, or at the definitely ratchets would have been a great option. But overall, a really solid beast mode. Again, there are obvious flaws in it, but there's only so much you could do. They could have added more panels, I guess, but then he would have been so panely and so crazy. His undercarriage is fairly clean. You can see this part that will ultimately become the beast mode, or the robot mode beast head. You can see his robot mode feet really crunched up there. And I think they did a great job with what they had to work with. And I think it really, really does show through in the design overall. That tail. And yeah, so... And from the front, I mean, he looks really good from the front. From, you know, kind of halfway on and so forth. So it's really just that straight on side view or back view where you can really see that robot kibble shining through. But I think ultimately it's a really solid effort from Takara Tomy. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at his accessories before we get into the robot mode. So he does come with a base. It's a little kind of crazy. Let's move Dinobot off to the side here for just a moment. So he does come with this base. It is very, you know, very heavy duty, feels very solid, feels very secure. I don't really know the full reason why they included this base. Maybe because they knew they were going to have to charge a certain amount for Dinobot, so they decided they were going to add as much plastic as they could while still maintaining, you know, an inexpensive production cost for them, because this does not seem like it's going to be a huge production cost. Just a couple of big pieces of plastic, very, very basic sculpting. But you do get two of these pieces. They are different. They're both different sculpts. You can put them together and mix and match any way you want. They have universal bits here, as well as 5mm ports, so that you can stick this doodad on however you like. And it's very simple. You've got a little locking mechanism here. You just raise this up and you can plug it in anywhere along this row that you wish. And then of course you've got a 3mm port here and a rotating universal bit there. And this just plugs in here and you've got yourself a nice solid base. And you can of course use this with Dinobot himself. He does come with an adapter for his beast mode, and I'll show this off really quickly. So you come under the beast mode here, pull this panel down, and then you're just going to go ahead and attach this underneath like so, close the panel back up, plug it in, and then you've got this bit that will swing down and plug onto the mount there. And so now you've got Dinobot that's jumping or doing whatever kind of craziness you desire. So there you go. That's got that. You also get a little free stand for your golden disc. It folds up just like a, just like a dish holder. It's even a little plug on the side where you can probably plug in the adapter for the hands. Probably just plug that in on the side and keep that safe and from rolling away or anything like that. And then you can just sit your golden disc right on there. Whoops. Pop that right down, and you've got that going on. And I'll show off the other accessories when we get to robot mode. Alright, so transforming Dinobot into robot mode is intricate, but not necessarily too difficult. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to take these side flaps here. We're just going to fold them down along the sides of the body, just like that. And next we're going to come back here and we're going to lift this whole back panel up, and that's going to release the tail section, or it should anyway. There we go. We'll just put that off to the side. Next up, we're going to go ahead and get the legs split like so, and we're just going to rotate these bits out of the way, and those are going to ultimately become the robot legs, obviously. Then we're going to go ahead and fold this section back, and it's just going to combine with this one, and we're just going to fold it up just like that, and that's going to be part of the robot chest or robot torso. So next up, we're just going to rotate the head around here, and something we want to do is lift up the eye panel and then just push this piece in just like that to give room for, I believe, the bottom of the robot head when it's all said and done. We're just going to leave that just like that for now. Next up, we're going to come down here and we're going to go ahead and open this panel up just like that. Pull this up forward, and then the legs, the dino legs, are going to untab. It's a little hard to see, but there is a tab in there that's just going to pop out like so. I'm going to do the same on the other side. We're going to untab it. Here we go. And then this whole section can swing down here, revealing the robot head and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and take care of the legs now, since we got these going on. So first thing we want to do is lift up this little gold panel here on both sides, just like that. Next we're going to go ahead and pull the shins out and forward, and those are going to lock into place. Do that on both sides again. Lock it into place, and then these sections here are going to rotate around, and you'll see this piece here has a post and there's a little hole. You're just going to clip those together. So turn them around until they are facing each other, then clip them together, and then you can turn the feet around the proper way. Make sure on this foot you go ahead and fold the slot, or the tab that fits into this slot is going to fold down, but you want to bring out the heel spurs first, so go ahead and do that. There you go. And there you have the legs nearly complete. We're then going to take the entire lower leg here and push it up and clip it in to the knee, just like that. And so there are the legs mostly done. Alright, so next what we're going to do is going to go ahead and come here to the front of the dinosaur. Just going to go ahead and split this just like so. And then this whole section can come up and rest right in that little hole there. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to rotate the dino legs here. And we're just going to rotate them all the way around, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and accordion the joint in, and then up. And we're going to bring this skin panel down and in. And basically bring the whole thing in. So it looks basically like that. So you've got the dino upper leg just kind of in right behind where the false head falls. Okay? So do the same thing on the other side. Bring this down. Bring the dino skin down like that. And then accordion the whole thing up and in on itself till it forms kind of a little, almost looking like a torso in itself. Okay, so once you've got all that done, we're going to go ahead and bring this whole section down. The dino head's going to go in. These pieces are going to go around the dino head like that and just rest in there. Next, we're going to take these panels back here, and you want to make sure these dino arms are folded up and away, and they're going to just tuck in right in under the this little blue bit here. Gonna fold that in. Then we're going to bring these sections in, and we want to get these dino arms as tightly against this section as possible. So it may require a little bit of massaging those bits to kind of get in where they're solid. And once you do that, you can come on here, and these pieces are gonna just tuck right in here. They're just gonna tab in on the sides, just like that. Everything's all plugged in and happy. And you're gonna go ahead, bring the dino head down, and just plug that right into the chest, like so. Then the shoulders can come down here, just like that. You can rotate the robot head around. There we go. Rotate that robot head around. And now we can do the legs first of all. Want to go ahead and rotate the waist around here, and then rotate those lower legs. And then of course for the arms, I'm going to go ahead and rotate these around. Make sure the shoulder pad is up on the top. Bring this around here. And then we're going to open this back panel up here. We're going to fold in the dinosaur claws. We're going to bring up this panel. We're going to split the forearm here, just like so. There we go. And this whole section is going to rotate around, plug together, and then just fold that panel back up, and you've got one arm done. You can rotate that around if you want. Open up the claws. There you go. And do the same on the other side. Bring up that shoulder pad. Bring this down. Pull this out. rotate it around, make sure the dino claws are folded in. And then close this all back up. And there you have Masterpiece Beast Wars Dinobot in robot mode. One thing I did forget to mention is that his feet come compact like that, and you just have to lift up this little golden thing. But anyway, that said, let's go ahead and transform his accessories, namely his tail. So what you want to do here is we're just going to go ahead and split the tail open all the way down the entire length, and then we're just going to pull these two parts open like that. We're going to pull out the sword, which is a kind of light pinkish chrome, and we're just going to extend that all the way and bring this down here like so. You can of course leave this attached to this and extend it if you want the the bladed shield effect, but overall you can just bring it down like that. The blade does rotate, which is a nice little touch. And then of course he can hold this in his hand. Just plug it into the palm, and then you can wrap his fingers around that. And he's got his sword. And then of course we can come here to the shield, and this can be a little tricky. I had a really hard time getting this the first time. So we want to go ahead and press down on this red disc in the middle here. Just want to press that and pull this down the tip of the tail, because it's going to pop this out enough. I don't think it's quite there yet, but we want this to be down enough. Come on. Almost. That should do it. So we want this to be able to rotate over onto the rest of the tail, and then we're just going to plug that into the slot. You can see in the back here there's a little slot back here, a little tab up at the front, and you just want to do that on both sides. This one's definitely a lot easier to get that done on. That up like so, and then we're going to flip this little bit out, and this is actually the trigger, so that if you press it, it will rotate the shield just like the original toy. So that's kind of cool, if you're into that sort of thing, which I am. So we can just go ahead and open that up, plug that right in to his hand. Let's find a good spot, and then just bring his fingers down around there. And now he's got his shield as well. We can kind of rotate this around a little bit. The fingers do get in the way of the rotation, so just be aware of that. But he does have his sword and shield, so you got that going on. I'm going to remove the shield just for a minute, just to show you guys the articulation. So first up, let's take a look at Dinobot's face. Really nicely done face here. You can see really nice pointy ear bits. He does have a mouth that does open and close, of course. Full head rotation. His head does go forward on a stalk, as well as side to side on a ball joint, so you can get some really nice really nice expression out of his head there. He does have a button on the back. If you press it, it will light his eyes up, and if you press it and hold it, it will change the light to green. Now, most of his heads do have red eyes, but he does have multiple heads, or multiple faces, which I'll show you guys really quickly here. There's that light. So he's got this face, which is kind of his standard. Whoops, alright, well, we'll just let him chill out, I guess. There we go. So he's got the standard face. We've got the wide-eyed, clear eyes face, which also has an opening mouth, and that's the one you want to get that green light on. Just pop that back there. So you can have that with either red or the green eyes. And again, the mouth does open on that, so that's kind of a standard face with the eyes. And I'll just leave that there for right now. So I'm going to show off his other bits. So let's see. His leg was coming a little undone there, which is annoying, but fine. Then we've got the wide-eyed red eyes, so which is the same face that he has now. It's just the eyes are filled in with red. And then lastly, we have the grinning face, or the smirking face, I should say. The eyes are very much darker, or not darker, but narrower. And the mouth, of course, does open on that still, so he can shout insults at Rat Trap. There you go, just like that. So he does have the wide-eyed face, and it works with either the red or the green, but he does come with the eye beam effect. So you can just go ahead and attach that right to his eyes. It just clips on and stays pretty well. So we're just going to go ahead and clip that in. There we go. And now he's got his eye beams, which will go ahead and shut that light at least so you can get an idea. So you can see kind of the eye beam situation going on. Maybe I'll even shut another light. Hold on. It's still a little bright, but you guys get the idea here. He does have the eye beams, and they work fairly nicely as far as I can tell. It is kind of bright in here, so take that along with the rest of the info. And then of course you've got the green beams as well. So very, very cool. And we'll go ahead and check out the rest of his articulation here. I'm going to put his other default head on, because I think that's the one I like the best. There we go. Alright, so articulation. We talked about the head. The shoulders can go up there like that. They can go, nope, that's about it. Down again. He does have arms that go up and down. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have an elbow joint. It's a little wonky because there is a foot attached to the elbow, but you can get that elbow joint to bend, and you can actually get it to bend fairly deeply. You just have to be okay with the back of his arm looking like that, which is, it is what it is. The wrist itself is on a rotational joint here. Can rotate that way as well. So you've got some nice options there. He does have a waist swivel, of course. He does have very limited range out to the side here, just due to the way his legs are constructed. There's not really any way around that, but he does have nice solid ratchets out to the front and to the back. He does have a very strong knee bend or knee joint there, and you got to watch out for that, because when you want to bring his knee down, it's going to make this piece want to detach. So just keep an eye out for that. It's not a big deal. He does have a rocking front, back, swivel, and like that foot. And yeah, just honestly very, very nice articulation. He also has articulated fingers. I guess thumbs in this case would be two. One piece here that is fused together and one piece here that's fused together, but you do get a nice range of motion from that. And each of his other fingers has one point of articulation at the claw, so you can get some nice nice points like that. We can go yeah, so very, very nicely done figure. Let's go ahead and show him off with the rest of his maximal crew, at least up to this point. So here we go. Just want to straighten him out a little bit here. So here we have Dinobot. Here we have Optimus Primal. And here we have Cheetor. So obviously he is quite a bit larger than these two, which makes me all the more excited for Megatron, because Megatron's going to be even larger. So that's going to be really, really cool. And he is just a big figure. Like, he feels really large. And last but not least, let's take a look at the golden disc. There it is. How lovely. Here's the other side. It is straight up a record. It says The Sounds of Earth stamped in there. And yeah, it's just a really nice little extra accessory. Yeah. He comes with one more attachment. It plugs into his butt and then plugs into the stand that he comes with. So there's that. But all in all, a really, really nice figure. You can tell they put a lot of love and a lot of time and effort into this toy, and they did a really great job. I'm very pleased with it. There are, of course, some things that could have been done maybe a little better, maybe with more time and engineering, but that would have also added to the cost. But ultimately, I think this is a figure well worth your time and effort. So that's going to do it for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you want to support my channel, check out the rest of my videos, and of course check me out on Patreon. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.